Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, democracy is not merely a form of government, it is primarily a mode of associated living, of conjoined communicated experience. It is essentially an attitude of respect and reverence towards fellow men. Good morning, respected principal, vice principals, registrar, teachers, and my dear students. Today, we have gathered together to celebrate the Constitution Day, which is also known as the Samvidhan Divas. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment took the decision to celebrate the 26th of November every year as Constitution Day to promote the constitutional values among the citizens of India and also to commemorate the birth and remember Dr. Bhimarao Ramji Ambedkar, who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution and who is formerly known as the father of Indian Constitution. So, to start off today's celebration, we will listen to the preamble which will be read by Cameron, the lady representative.
The Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and the integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. Now, to understand the importance of Constitution and why we are celebrating the Constitution Day, we can all watch a video.
Sometimes it takes several years and hundreds of people to write a book. Do you know that the Constitution of India was written by over 300 representatives who met for a period of almost 3 years before our Constitution got formalized? The Constitution was enacted on 26 November 1949 and enforced on 26 January 1950. Hence, 26 November is celebrated as Constitution Day and 26 January as our Republic Day. To ensure the representation was as diverse as possible, these 300 people were partly elected and partly selected from all sections of society. There were Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Parsis, Anglo-Indians, tribal communities, and so on. There was representation across regions, castes, educational and political backgrounds. There was also representation of women. Do you know how many women were represented? A total of 9 out of 300. A major accomplishment for a time when women empowerment was a faraway dream. Similarly, citing many complications and difficulties, the British wanted to write the Constitution for India before they left. This idea was, however, rejected by the Indians, who wanted to write the Constitution for themselves, as it would deal with their future. It is interesting to note that the Constitution of Japan was written by 24 male Americans in 7 days flat. The only Japanese in the room was a young woman interpreter. However, while the decision to write the Constitution ourselves was a noble one, in reality it was quite a difficult task to implement. With 23 recognized languages and innumerable dialects, it was difficult to agree on the language in which the Constitution would be written. Finally, it was agreed that the members could speak in any language they want, and the constitution would be written in English and translated at once into Hindi. When the constitution was prepared, the societal environment was hugely challenging. Partition, religious riots, division on the basis of caste, weak role of women, and so on. And yet, the makers chose hope. They instilled the fundamental human values of equality, liberty, justice, and fraternity as our core constitutional values and ensured that laws would protect these principles. One historian put it aptly: fundamental rights were to be framed amidst the carnage of fundamental wrongs. The sessions of Constituent Assembly were marked by intense debates. One subject was, who can vote? While debating over the qualification for voting and principles of representation, discussion was also held whether only educated people should be given the right to vote. This was opposed on the principle of equality. And finally, all citizens, irrespective of educational qualifications, caste, religion, or gender, got the right to vote. On this point, it is worth noting that in America, black people got the right to vote 80 years, and women got this right 133 years after the US Constitution came into being. There were several critical issues debated, including language, rights, minorities, governance structures, and so on. All the proceedings of the Constituent Assembly are documented and available for us online, so that we will always remember the exciting process of making our Constitution. This will guide us to examine our present and play our role as citizens in the future.
Now, I would like to call upon our principal, Father Daniel Fernandez SJ, to speak a few words to us.
Greetings to all of you. Country is celebrating today the Constitution Day, the day to celebrate our forefathers have given such a vibrant, all-inclusive, very inspiring document in terms of the Constitution. I wish all of you all the best as you celebrate this day together. And to mark this day, we had organized a number of programs. I must congratulate all of you for having participated with great enthusiasm. And some of you have done extremely well, especially some of the videos that I saw was very well done. I appreciate and acknowledge your creativity, and also the posters. A lot of thought and wisdom has gone into making of the poster. Thank you, showing great interest, and ultimately it is not only for us to live the Constitution, we need to uphold the Constitution and appreciate and imbibe the values that are enshrined in the Constitution. Have a wonderful day. God bless.
Thank you, Father. I now request our student governor, T.H. Levakama sir, to declare the winners of the Constitution Day competitions.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮುಂಜಾನೆಯ ಶುಭಕಾಮನೆಗಳು. ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಭಾರತ ಅನ್ನುವುದು ಬರೀ ದೇಶವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬಹುತ್ವದ ಆಚರಣೆ. ನಮಗೆ ನೂರಾರು ಭಾಷೆಗಳಿವೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲು, ಹಲವಾರು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಿವೆ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡಲು, ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಎದುರಿಸಲು, ಹಸಿದ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗಳು ನೋಯಲು, ಸಿಡಿಯುವ ಗುಂಡುಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಹತ್ತಿಕ್ಕಲು, ನೂರಾರು ಧರ್ಮಗಳು, ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜಾತಿಗಳು, ಪಂಥಗಳು, ಗೋಡೆಗಳು. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಒಗ್ಗೂಡಿಸಿರುವ ಏಕೈಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಅಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ. ಆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಭಾರತ ದೇಶ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡ ದಿನ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಈ ಶುಭ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಸಂತ ಜೋಸೆಫರ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬಹುತ್ವವನ್ನು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೇ ಆ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಇದನ್ನು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಆಚರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್, ಸೊ ಸಾಕ್ಷ್ಯಚಿತ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆದ್ದಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾನೀಗ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲ ಬಹುಮಾನ ನಮನ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲ ಬಹುಮಾನ ನಮನ್ ಮೆಹ್ತಾ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ. He has got the first place. Second place goes to Kaushik 3BBAC. Third place goes to Varun S. Reddy to become F. And the third place is also shared by Monish M 3 become C. I congratulate all the people who won the poster making competition. Now we move on to video making competition. The special mention prize goes to 3BBAC Kaushik and Sujit. Third place goes to first BBAA Mohammed and Aaron. Second place goes to first BCom B Tony, and it is also shared by 2 BCom A Sharanya, and the first place goes to 2 BBA B Jason. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you, and also we have received nearly 24 videos and posts, and all the videos are very creative, and a lot of thought has gone into making the posters and videos, and really we could able to sense the spirit and the great enthusiasm that you people have shown in creating the videos, and really I hope that those videos and posters will be of great help to the other colleges and the institution. So I also like to thank all the people who have participated in the competition, and I also would like to thank all the class mentors who motivated these students to participate in the competition. And now as student governor, it is my duty, and it is also my pleasure to thank our father principal for guiding us and for giving us a lot of suggestions as to how to go about in all these activities. And I would like to tell you that the idea of competition was given by father principal, and surprisingly you also have cash prize for this competition, a huge cash prize, and father was very happy to give you the special cash prize. I would also like to thank our registrar Nirmala madam for always guiding us, and also I would like to thank vice principals and all the other staff members who have helped us in the process of conducting this event. I would like to specially mention the people who have helped me to judge the event. We have constituted the few members to judge all these competitions, especially for the video making competition. I would like to thank the faculties of English department, Mr. Thomas, Vinay Kambipura, Divya, Anna, for judging the videos, and also I would like to thank Brighton for judging the posters. And we had a lot of discussions while judging, and all the discussions were so fruitful that we really enjoyed each moment of watching your videos. Thank you all. Thank you all the parents who are actually joining us in this great day. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಕಳಕಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಬ್ಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಈ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ತಿತ್ತು ಇಲ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ದಿನ ಇದು. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಬರೀ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳು, ಅವು ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾಗಳು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಅಷ್ಟು ಐಡಿಯಾಗಳು, ಅಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯದ ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾವು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬಂಧಿಸುವಂಥ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರನ್ನ ವಿಚ್ಛೇದನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರನ್ನ ಚಿಂದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಾವು ಸೆಣಸದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಲೂ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಫೇಲ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಗೆಲ್ಲಿಸೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ, ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಾಳೋಣ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Lavakumar sir. Now we can all watch the different posters and the videos that won the different prizes for the competition.
In a world filled with injustices, large-scale exploitation, and rampant crime, there has been a raging call for human rights worldwide for a very long time. Even today, there are several countries in the world that refute equal rights to its citizens, fiercely holding on to age-old systems of law and order. Thankfully, our leaders address the topic of human rights by introducing fundamental rights, which are permanent rights that cannot be removed or modified by any legal or governmental authority. These fundamental rights are the basic human rights of each and every citizen of India. We already know our fundamental rights. First, the right to equality. Second, the right to freedom, which also includes rights to freedom of speech, the freedom of movement, and so on. Third, the right against exploitation. Fourth, the right to freedom of religion. Fifth, cultural and educational rights. Sixth, the right to constitutional remedies. And lastly, the inherent fundamental right to privacy that was recognized by the Supreme Court in 2017. But beyond our fundamental rights, what other provisions for human rights exist in the Indian Constitution? In 1955, the family law was reformed under the Untouchability Offences Act, which gives more rights to Hindu women. 34 years down the line, the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Act in 1989 was passed to safeguard the lives of such men and women who were the victims of vile atrocities. In 1993, the National Human Rights Commission was enacted to monitor the state of human rights in the country. In 2005, the Right to Information Act was passed, a powerful law that grants power to each citizen of this country to access information held by public authorities. In the same year, the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act was passed to secure the right to employment to each human being. So looking back at what we've discovered, we not only have our 6 fundamental rights, but the Constitution has also created provisions for transparency, employment, and equality for all in our country through these laws. Our human rights go beyond our basic fundamental rights. The Indian Constitution has always been designed to uphold equal rights to each citizen of India, irrespective of their race, caste, religion, gender, and creed. So let us continue to remember and exercise our rights as citizens of this wonderful country. Jai Hind.
Languages, linguistic identities, and the Constitution of India. Let's begin with the basics. What is a language? The system of communication in speech and writing that is used by people of a particular country. The system of sounds and writing that human beings use to express their thoughts, ideas, and feelings. There are 3 main parts in the Constitution of India that talk about languages and linguistic identities. Article 343 of the Constitution says that the official language of the Union shall be Hindi in the Devanagari script and English. Article 345 of the Constitution talks about the official language or languages of a state. The state can adopt 1 or more languages for official purposes. Article 346 talks about the official language for communication between one state and another, or between a state and the union, which is Hindi and English. Special provision relating to language spoken by a section of the population of a state is given in Article 347. The 8th schedule of the Constitution recognizes 22 Indian languages, namely Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Oriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. Why is language so important in India? India has so many languages, and Indians associate themselves with their language. Their mother tongues are given immense respect. Kulumboy, Johar, Namaskara, Namaskaram, Namoshkar, Sastriyakal, Kemcho, Khambagadisa, Adab, Assalamu alaikum, Radhe Radhe. Linguistic diversity adds new shades of cultural richness to our social life. Acquaintance with different languages and dialects enriches the power of expression of an individual or society. Every language has its own qualities. Can one imagine even a shade of Indian heritage without Mirza Ghalib, Rabindranath Tagore, Sarojini Naidu, Suryakant Tripathi, Mahadevi Verma, Kamala Das? No. Each language has its own accomplishments. Languages are more than a medium of expressing ourselves. They carry cultural and historical accomplishments of a society with them. Rabindranath Tagore once said, "If God has so wished, He could have made all the Indians speak one language. The unity of India has been and shall always be a unity in diversity."
One of the biggest social evils that we as Indians face today is the deep-rooted caste system. The caste system has existed in our motherland for centuries, where people have been differentiated between the upper and lower castes, and discrimination was at the forefront, especially towards the people of the lower caste, often referred to as Dalits. Also called the untouchables, they were given the menial work of disposing garbage, cleaning the sewage and streets, farming, and nobody bothered to grant them equal access to education, healthcare, sanitation, and job opportunities. The public even distanced themselves from the Dalits, fearing they would be polluted. The Dalits faced mass discrimination and were even subjected to slavery. The Indian Constitution, drafted by our very own Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, made sure to change the whole scenario. He himself, belonging to the Mahar caste, fought to break down the caste system. The Constitution Day reminds us of his tireless efforts and struggle to make this happen. One of the fundamental rights guaranteed to us is the right to equality, which treats every citizen equally in the eyes of the law, regardless of their race, caste, religion, sex, and place of birth. In 1950, Article 17 was brought into the picture, which abolished untouchability and considered it a punishable offense. In 1989, the Scheduled Caste and the Scheduled Tribes Act was passed, which provided reservations into profession and admission into educational institutes. These historic steps have changed the way that the world sees India today. But despite the laws that protect them, Dalits still face widespread discrimination in India. India appears to be bright and beautiful on the outside, but is still dark and hollow in the inside. We Indians still have a long way to go.
Millions of years have passed, and it is interesting to know that the natural resources had virtually been untouched. But since the start of the Industrial Revolution, Vast amounts of these resources have been exploited within a period of just a couple of hundred years at an unimaginable rate, with all the waste from this exploitation going straight into the environment, seriously damaging the natural processes. Although pollution had been known to exist for a very long time, it had seen the growth of true global proportions only since the onset of the Industrial Revolution. Environmental degradation in India has been caused by a variety of social, economic, institutional, and technological factors. Rapidly growing population, urbanization, and industrial activities have all resulted in considerable deterioration in the quality of sustainability of the environment. Environmental ethics have also formed an inherent part of Indian religious perspectives and philosophy. The importance of judiciary in a democratic setup for protection of life and personal rights can hardly be overestimated. India has a highly developed judicial system, with the Supreme Court having immense power to make any order of doing complete justice in any case or matter, and a mandate in the Constitution to all authorities, civil, judicial, in the terror of India to act in aid of the Supreme Court. The scope of right jurisdiction of the High Courts is wider than traditionally understood, and the judiciary is separate and independent from the executive to ensure impartiality in administration of justice. In earlier times, the word environment was not specifically mentioned in the Constitution, and no specific provision were laid down in the Constitution to deal with the environmental hazards and to regulate the activities of the people who thereby were contributing a huge part in degrading the quality of the environment in the name of exercising their fundamental rights. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Thus, inserting the clause to specifically deal with the environmental issues would prove to be beneficial for the environment. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to express our views on this certain topic. Peace out.
India is a country of multi-ethnic culture where people belonging to different religious, racial, cultural, and linguistic identities live together under the common identity of an Indian. We Indians take utmost pride in our differences and believe in unity in diversity. We believe in a land where people from various culture, cities, languages, races, gender, and religions come together harmoniously, putting aside their differences. The Constitution of India, which was adopted on November 26, 1949, and came into force on January 26, 1950, emphasized the objective of fraternity in its preamble in order to ensure both the dignity of an individual and the unity of the nation. The Constituent Assembly, which is the brain behind our Constitution, reflected the ethnically, religiously, and linguistically diverse groups that made up India. Fraternity means a sense of common brotherhood among all the Indians. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar even went one step ahead with his ideology, stating that without fraternity, equality, and liberty, will there be no deeper than the coat of paint. Article 51A of the Indian Constitution casts the fundamental duty upon its citizens, saying that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhoodness amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional or sectional diversities. We are the future of our India. We must remember that always good triumphs over evil. As Mahatma Gandhi said, let us all forget all thoughts of I'm a Hindu, you're a Muslim, or I'm a Gujarati, you're a Madrasi. Let us think I and mine in a common Indian nationality. We shall be free only when a large number of our people are determined to swim or sink together. Jai Hind.
Once again, congratulations to all the winners of both the competitions. Now, I will call upon Dhanush, our Student Council President, to propose the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to one and all present here. I take immense pleasure to announce the vote of, to give out the vote of thanks for this event. I'd like to start off by thanking Reverend Dr. Daniel Fernandez, SJ, our principal, for being the constant support for the Student Council and the management. And I also like to thank him for pushing us to move forward, to know more about the society and the country, and to do something for the good. I'd like to extend my gratitude to the Registrar Dr. Nirmala Joseph for being a constant pillar of support. I'd also like to thank our student governor, Dr. T.S. Lavakumar, for always standing by our side, for always pushing us to do better, and for taking out this whole live event on his shoulders and to make sure that it was a successful one. I'd also like to thank the VPs, HODs, and all the teachers of this institution for providing and showing us the right path to move forward in. I'd also like to thank the teacher panel for taking time off and helping us host this event in a successful way by providing themes, by judging the event, and for always standing by our side to clear any kinds of doubt we had. I'd also like to thank Mervyn sir for hosting this event. My vote of thanks would be incomplete if I do not mention the next 4 people. So first off, I'd like to start off by thanking the designer Akanksha Rao for taking time off, even though she was packed with so much on her plate, to make sure that the brochure that went out, to make sure that the poster that went out was beautiful enough. And I'd also like to thank the participants and the representatives of each class for pushing their classmates to participate, and the participants to take out their time, though they were packed with studies and all that, and this being a crucial week, 2 weeks prior exams, dedicating their time for the event and to know something about the Constitution. Finally, I'd like to thank the council members for standing by my side and for helping me host this, helping the institution and the management host this event in a successful manner. I'd like to especially thank the vice presidents Rebecca Florence and Anthony Ritwik for taking it up as their own and for putting their heart and soul into this event. Thank you one and all. Have a great day. Jai Hind.